Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The conspiracy worked. Didn't it, Kev? I'm trying to tell you, Andy, Cornerstone Kev, and Frank Ntilikina had a conspiracy tonight to get all the point guards out of there so Frank Ntilikina can get his. And Frank Ntilikina came through with his end of the bargain. He had 13 points tonight, hit a couple of threes, had one strong play down the lane just to let everybody know, hey, I can. He said, I'm a dog too. And I'm telling you, Tibbs, I'm a dog too. I can do it. Big win by the Knicks tonight. Big play by Reggie Bullock at the end of the game to get a big stop, so the Knicks could pull this win out. After he got tied up, and then he lost the jump ball because he jumped too early. Then he came back and made a big defensive play to pull this game out for the Knicks. And what I really like is that the Knicks celebrated that last second tip and steal by Reggie Bullock as if he hit a last second three-point bucket. That right there lets you know how much this team values defense and how much defense has become a staple and a part of their identity. So big shout out to the Knicks for that win. You know, they started off the game okay, and then they went down 10. Then they've had to pull themselves back into the game. They went up 16 points, and then they lost it just like that. Went down 5 in the fourth quarter, and then they came back and took the lead. It's the type of game that we normally expect when they play the Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic were led by Evan Fournier. He had 23 points. He shot 42% from the field. Shot 36% from the three-point line. Nikolai Vucevic, he had 17 points, 16 rebounds, and 4 assists. Aaron Gordon had 17 points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds. Everybody else had 7 points, 5 points, 7 points, 7 points, 5 points, 5 points. For the New York Knicks, they were led, ladies and gentlemen, by Julius Randle, who had his third triple-double of the season. His third triple-double of the season, ladies and gentlemen. So that's big for Julius Randle. I like that. He had 18 points, 17 assists, and 10 rebounds. Alec Burks had 21 points and 10 rebounds. RJ Barrett had 17 points and 9 rebounds. Frank Ntilikina had 13 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. Reggie Bullock had 20 points. Then you got Taj Gibson had 3 points. Nobody else scored. Taj Gibson also had 6 assists. But I'm telling you what, if you get that kind of production from Alec Burks and Reggie Bullock, you're going to have a lot of successful nights. You can guarantee that. And maybe for Alec Burks, it's the fact that he was allowed to have the basketball in his hands uninterrupted and to be the decision maker. You know, maybe that's kind of something that fits his style and mode of play. Obviously, he's not consistent enough doing what he did tonight for it to always be that way for Alec Burks. But, you know, he gave us exactly what we needed tonight. He was 9 for 18 from the field. He was 3 for 6 from the three-point line. You know, 10 rebounds. He gave us exactly what we needed tonight. And so did Reggie Bullock, both of those guys. I do believe this is the last time we're going to see, unless we just got too many people hurt, the last time we're going to see Alec Burks in the starting lineup, though. Mm-hmm. I just don't think that, for whatever reason, he doesn't mesh well defensively with the starting lineup. I don't know if it's because of his defense, lack of defense, or if it's because, you know, this is just the chemistry that this team has built. But, you know, I don't think that you're going to see him. I don't think Tibbs is going to experiment with him in that starting lineup anymore. He didn't like what he saw from the beginning of this game. And down the stretch of not down the stretch, but just before the half, when he brought back basically your starting 5, instead of bringing back Burks, he brought back Reggie Bullock. And then to start the third quarter, as I thought he would do, to start the third quarter, he started with Reggie Bullock instead of Alec Burks. And I think for Philadelphia, if we still, if Emmanuel Quickly, Derrick Rose, and Elvis Payton is still out, you'll probably see Frank Ntilikina, Reggie Bullocks, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, and Nerlens Noel in that starting lineup instead of Alec Burks. But either way, big win, good win for the Knicks. We needed this one. We had to pull it out. A tight game, but we pulled it out. Tony, what do you think, man? How you feel?
Sure. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the panel. Peace, Queen. Yo, Black is time.
Appreciate you.
Yo, it got scary for a minute, man. I ain't even going front. The Knicks always gotta get my blood pressure going. We should have blew them out, but I'm glad it was a win. And to go with your point about the defense and celebrating the steal, but ending the game on a defensive play, I think that's something that's gonna work wonders for this team. That's something they deserve. You know what I mean? It's showing them what you've been doing all year. You got to do it from the beginning to the end, and to end the game on a play like that to get the win. Well deserved, to their credit. I hope that brings out more defensive intensity for the future. Because that's very rare in the NBA in general, and we're usually on the opposite end of that play. Probably 3 times already this year. I think we had a chance to win and turn the ball over and something like that happened. So.
Right. I mean, even just in the Brooklyn game, as much as we were upset that Kyrie Irving got his hand on it, and we thought Julius Randle shouldn't have been called for a travel. The fact that Kyrie Irving got his hand on the ball is what created the whole conundrum. Right. You know what I'm saying? Just that defensive play. Now, when I look back at it 2 days later, Julius Randle should have just hit the ball off of Kyrie Irving's head, took the dribble, and went up with it. You know what? When I thought, I was like, he was in the air. He's right there. Should have just popped it off his head, took the dribble, and going up with it. Would have worked.
He looked right down at Kyrie's face. Like, he did. Like, should I do it?
He did. He was in the air. He looked right at him. He could have said, boop. But, either way, in that Brooklyn game, we were on the opposite end of a good defensive play.
Right.
Steph, what do you think about tonight's game?
I'll take it. Any win we can get, because coming down the stretch, I remember thinking, are you telling me we about to lose this game? With Philly and the 2 Washington games coming up. So we got it. I thought, hopefully people were able to see what I've been seeing in Bullock. I mean, his defense is good. I mean, and when he makes shots, we're just a different team.
Yeah.
So I remember saying today, I wouldn't mind if Bullock came back, maybe, part of that second unit, I wouldn't mind that. But it was a good game, shout out to Frank, he hit the shots, but he looked more confident. Whereas the last game, he just looked like, not only was he missing, he was shooting air balls.
Yeah.
So, he played well, but like my mom would say, you don't give no fish credit for swimming. No, I'm kidding. Frank was good. Frank was good. And but we needed this. We needed this bad with our upcoming schedule, and just trying to. I mean, overall, I'm not sure where we were, but we was probably hovering around 500 since the injuries, right? So now, we still around 500, and every time you turn around, somebody else is going down. So, hopefully when we get everybody back, we can just fly. So I feel pretty good, actually.
Yeah. And I was a little bit nervous with Frank when he missed the first free throw. He got fouled in the first half, and he missed the free throw. I was like, come on, Frank, you got to knock down what you can get. Then he hit the second one. Then in the second half, I think he missed the first 3 that he took. But you know what? To his credit, Julius Randle didn't shy away from him when he was open. Right. When he was open, wide open, Julius Randle still got him the basketball, and then finally he hit one.
Right.
And then he hit the next one, and then there you go, right? And you know that's the kind of confidence teammates, they gotta have confidence in each other that way, right?
Yep.
And when people ask why Elfrid Payton keeps shooting those open threes, you heard what Walt Frazier and Breen was saying about Tom Thibodeau. He's telling him, and he told Frank, it don't matter, shoot the three, shoot the ball. If you're open, shoot the ball. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he shot the ball. Now it just so happens that Frank Ntilikina is a better shooter, of course. At least so far this year. We can say that about Frank now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Snowfall. What you think about Snowfall, Kev? What you think about him? He was Snowfall tonight. Tonight he was Snowfall.
He was Snowfall, absolutely.
You know, other nights he's Leon or somebody, but tonight he was Snowfall.
You good, man. You good. First of all, salute to the chat. Salute to my brothers and sister on the panel. Yeah, I was real happy for the kid, man, because I was his toughest critic for the last 2 days and everything. So it was really good to see him be successful tonight and to just sticking with it. And you're right, Sam. I got to credit Julius Randle for still believing in him, because he could have easily been taking it to himself or passing it to somebody else. I'm really glad that he recognized him and was passing the ball to him. And yeah, I was a little, like Steph said, I was a little, nervous and everything, because we had like we had a 16 point lead, right?
Yeah.
16-point lead, and then they took the lead, and it looked like, we've been down this road before where we have a lead, we're beating them the whole game, and then all of a sudden, that team comes back and takes the lead, for good. So it was good that that we were on that other side of the track, of staying with it, competing, and then and winning the game. So I'm real happy that that we won the game, because if we would have lost, it would have got real ugly for the next 3 games. Because not so much the Philly game, but those 2 Washington games with Bradley playing both of them. I know they've been losing and everything, but he always eats us up when he plays us. So.
Yeah, they won tonight. I think Bradley Beal had 43 or something tonight.
And that's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah, and they beat Utah. So they beat a legitimate team tonight. They scored 131. They beat them 131 to 122. Yeah. Julito?
Wow.
Man. Well, salute to the chat. I meant to say it when I jumped on last pre-show. But salute to the chat, salute to the panel, salute to you, Sim.
Appreciate you.
I've been watching the last few. I watch every day, but y'all been just giving nothing but amazing content. So salute to everybody, the regulars. A few takeaways, man. Julius Randle. I know we all talked about it. We've harped on it. Such an amazing player. He's such a good dude. He's a New York City gritty dude. He was out there exhausted. There were moments where
he was
like he fell into Tibbs, and he, when you tired where you can't even get up quick enough. It was a point he looked like he was about to pass out, and he still was giving us that mid-range dagger. Still 17 assists, another triple double. The first time Nick has had 3 triple doubles in like 10 years in one seat. It's crazy. Right, exactly. More than that.
It's the first time since 81, 82 with Michael Ray Richardson that the Knicks have had 3 triple doubles in a season. 1982.
Come on, man. That's Julius Randle. He's a Knick. Julius Randle is a Knick. So that's one takeaway for me. Another, we need Evan Fournier. I think he was trying out for the Knicks tonight. I would like Evan Fournier on this team. I would love Evan Fournier on this team. Would we get him? Probably not. Not even on our radar, I believe. But come on, man, that boy is a killer. He's a killer. And then I don't have to beat a dead horse, but Obi Toppin is lost out there. He's just lost. He's lost. It's like, the TV show Lost, where they got out the plane, they woke up and they was in the middle of nowhere. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know where they was. Obi Toppin do not need to get me, and it just hurts because this is the thing. With Obi Toppin not producing and not giving us anything, Julius Randle has to do everything. It was a moment, I was watching with my girl, we were looking, I saw how horrible Obi was playing, and I got so upset because we went on a timeout. I said, Julius is coming back. It was the 10-minute mark. I said, he's coming back in. And Julius needs to come in. The fourth quarter, he was the 8-minute mark, the 7-minute mark. It was like 9:55 left, and I said, he about to come in. He come on for timeout. Here he goes.
He come in.
And it's just, he's too tired, and I don't know. I just pray that this can keep going. I hope we do something before the trade deadline or get somebody off the waiver wire. I just really hope that we get him some help in that power forward position.
Yeah, and the thing about it, Lito, is with Obi, it's not so much his shots, but just his effectiveness. Well, there's no effectiveness. He's not even, rebounding the ball. He's not, on the defensive.
Hey, Kev, he had nothing tonight. At least last game he had 2 rebounds. Nothing. Across the board, no 0, 0, 0, all across the board. It's not going to help.
Yeah. I mean, and that backup, we were just talking about it before the stream started. Whatever whatever Obi does going forward with this team, into next year, and hopefully sometime during this season it clicks in form. But somehow Julius Randle played 39 minutes tonight. Somehow we gotta find a way to get some production from the backup power forward spot,
right?
Because Julius Randle's just gonna burn out. Let me ask you this, Kareem: when is it time? And I don't know if there's a team that we can do it against, but we talk about one of the things that we all of us, Knicks fans, were happy that Julius Randle and these guys have been able to play, and Julius Randle's been healthy. Although I've been afraid a couple of times when he took the fall against Dwight Howard, when Dwight Howard was there. Another time somebody fell on his leg, I was a little bit nervous. But when can we get a game where maybe we do say, you know what, let's let Julius Randle rest? Is there a game? That's what makes it tough, right? Because hopefully if we could go on like a 5 or 6 game winning streak, then maybe you could say, you know what, we can afford to let a game go, give him a rest. But we can't even get to that.
Oh, you meant rest not play.
Yeah, give him a day off. Yeah, give that man a day off. Load management day. That's what I'm talking about.
His day off when he went out. When he the 2 days before, after All Star, and right before we started, that was his break.
Right. Right. I mean,
I thought you meant give him a break, a minute.
Olito said, man, I just want to, amend it some. He does need help, and I think we if we do make a move, we should make a trade deadline move. Because even we don't need him getting hurt and possibly risking his career.
Right.
So he is going to need some help, and I think Obi Toppin seen the show because he was trying out there.
And it didn't work.
I was like, man, he's like, man, I'm gonna make this happen. Nah, it was not happening. I don't know it was not happening. And the effort was there, but it did not transpire to anything positive.
Kareem, and this was the game he should have did it, man. He had I don't even know who was the backup.
Thank you.
I don't even know.
Birch. Started with a B.
Birch was the one holding Julius all night.
Yeah.
Who knows? Right? That's the thing. He's going up against their backup 4, who we can't even think of. You couldn't give everybody $10 here or $10,000 to remember who the guy was, and you wasn't able to get one basket.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna hop on it. I'm not the villain. That's Josh. Yeah. That's Josh.
But when Mitch is back, maybe Taj backs up Julius.
Yes, that's what we see happening. Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Wait 1 second, Kareem, you better give my boy his flowers.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna give him extensive flowers.
Okay.
Great game, and we gonna need him in these next 2 games against the Wizards. We're gonna need that defense.
Okay. All right.
We're gonna need it.
My man.
We're gonna need it.
He
I
played,
don't dislike Frank.
he played some really good defense tonight. I think there was one possession. There was one possession. Maybe it was, I guess
Aaron
it was
Gordon.
in the third quarter.
Aaron Gordon.
Not even the Aaron Gordon possession. I'm talking in the second half where he played. He was on the ball. Like, he was popping around from wherever the ball was, he was there because he continuously, somehow the rotation always came to him on this one possession, and he was there every time it came to him. Boom, 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 boom. He was just there. You know, he was on it. You got to give it up to him. And I think also Thibodeau, like I said earlier, Thibodeau is beginning to trust him. And Thibodeau, I think, recognizes and has put it out there already. He is a defensive player. That is the reason why he's on the floor. So he is supporting what he does, which maybe relaxes a little bit of tension for Frank Ntilikina. And, you know, of course, you know, we're going to need him to hit shots, you know, when it comes time to it. But I think Frank also recognizes and understands that if he's not hitting shots, there's a chance that he might sit down. And he's got it. So, you know, that puts the responsibility on Frank, not the coaching staff, you know? Go ahead, Tony.
Right. And also, this is the first time all year that I felt like you could see it in Frank that, remember how he used to get like this little energy boost when he's guarding somebody? Like, this is the first time I've seen it from him this year on multiple possessions. You know what I mean? Like, it felt like when Tibbs, you know, Tibbs said, hey, he's a defensive player, and now he's like, all right, he felt the recognition. You know what I mean? So he's like, all right, this is what I do. Let me do what I do. Everything else is a bonus. You know what I mean?
Right. And that right there can help any player. Once a coach says, just recognizes and respects what you do and plays you for what you do, then that can build your confidence right there. Like, okay, you know what? Coach ain't worried if I miss 5 shots in a row. I'm just out here. I'm gonna play crazy defense.
Yeah. So Sim, I have to pose the question on you again. Once we get everybody healthy, does Tibbs expand that rotation?
I still think he keeps a 10-man rotation.
Okay.
I think that's what he does.
Bad. That's better than an 8-man rotation.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to go 11. It's hard to go 11.
Yes,
so
it's very hard.
You know, he's going to have to make some decisions about who he plays. If Taj Gibson does play for Obi, then he's going to have to make some decisions about Frank Ntilikina. You know what I mean? And it may just be on that given night. If a team is small, he may be going with Frank. If a team is a little bit bigger, he may have to go with Taj. You know?
Yeah.
Hey, Sim, Kev.
Yes.
Where's the apology, sir? I haven't heard you give that man Frankie Smokes an apology yet, man. You dogged him, man.
I just admitted I was wrong.
Okay. I didn't hear it. I just need to hear it one more time.
Frank Ntilikina, I apologize from the bottom of my heart. I was your number 1 fan and still the number 1 fan.
Yeah. You Frank's agent, man. We know.
Yeah. So here's a question. That I want to get, and this is actually coming from Tony earlier before we even jumped down and started talking. Tonight, the Knicks shot 41% from the 3-point line. All right, they shot 41%, and they shot 34 3-pointers tonight. All right. Now, of course, we know during the season, they've been around. They started off, they were like last in the league, around 26 free throw attempts a night. Now they're up close to about 30. Right? Do you want to see the Knicks pull more threes? Do you want to see them get up to about 30, 36, 37 attempts?
If it's presented, if the situation presents itself, yes, I would.
I think we're just a better team when Bullock and Burks hit their shots.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
We're just a way better team.
Right, we are. We're a better team, but like I said earlier, we just weren't shooting a lot of threes. Now it seems like we're inching up there in the number of attempts. I think before last game we were at 29. After tonight, we might be close to, we might be about 30. We're starting to inch up there in attempts and keep the accuracy.
And that's what we've been accurate all year. So that's why I say, and that's the thing that puzzled me, because we've all been complaining about Burks at times, Bullock at times, inconsistency, but they've all been shooting well all year. Like every time I get mad, I just go and look at what they're shooting for the year, and I'm like, oh man, like I can't really complain about that. So maybe they just need to keep shooting. You know what I mean? That's what they do anyway. And it really looked like tonight, like I just felt like they was looking for the three. It was always the open man, but it didn't matter who the open man was. If they was open, they was looking for that 3-pointer. And we went through a slow stretch, but then I was like, Sin, what we end up shooting? It's still 40%, right? And it ended up being 41. So even with that stretch in the fourth where we couldn't hit nothing, we still ended up shooting 41%.
Right.
So
and right now, as we speak, and this includes tonight, we're shooting 37% from the 3-point line. Excuse me. 37% from the 3-point line, and we're shooting 28.5 attempts per game, which is 29th in the league. So I thought we were moving up a little higher. We're shooting 28.5, which is 29th in the league.
And our percentage is what, 12?
Our percentage is 12th, but the number that we take is 28.5. So we make about 10.6 per game. That's how many makes, and that number is 28th in the league. The number of makes. It's tough because the thing is with 3-point shots, like you take the Golden State Warriors, right? They shoot 36.7%, but they make 14 threes a game. So they score 12 more points just because they shoot 37 threes. They shoot 10 more threes than the Knicks. So they make 4 more threes than the Knicks. They score 12 more points.
Well, the thing about Golden State is when you think about 3-pointer, you think about them. I think they're the number one team, in the league.
Well, I mean, their percentages are great.
Well, their percentage is great. And I also got to take into consideration that Klay Thompson isn't even playing either. If he was, look out, because between him and Steph, forget about it.
Right. So, it's the best 3-point shooting team as far as percentage in the league are the Clippers. They shoot 41.5%. Now, they take 34.7 attempts and they make 14 of them, 14.4. Then you got the Nets. They take 37 attempts. They make 40%. They make 15. The Utah Jazz, they make 17 3-pointers per game.
They make it effort. They make it effortlessly as well.
But they also shoot 43 per game.
Yeah.
They shoot 43. As a matter of fact, the Utah Jazz, they take 88 shot attempts per game, and 43 of them are 3-pointers.
Well, less than half.
Yeah.
Because I think at one point half their shots was threes.
Yeah.
Welcome to the new NBA, man.
Yeah. It's crazy. That's something. Let me get to super chat here. Jonathan JD, thank you for the super chat. He says, salute NBK fam. Queens get the money. He said, with the 17 assists tonight, Julius Randle is back above 6 assists per game on the season. He said, man, I just hope we can make the playoffs to complement his outstanding season. I do as well. I think we're going to get there. I think it's going to be a struggle like the Knicks have been doing throughout the entire season, right? We've been a 500 team. We get down some, we come back. Even in games, it's the same way. We get down and we come back. We just got this fight. I think they're going to fight all the way into the playoffs. And then we'll see what we're made of when we get into the playoffs.
Hey, Sam. Sim, if we get in, does Coach Tibbs get Coach of the Year?
Has to.
Yes, has to, man.
Has to. There's no way. You don't take a team from the worst team in the league for the last 4 years to a playoff team. And if we get that 6 seed, I know. Sorry, I know you was asking Sim, but I was just if you get that 6 seed, that 6 seed, that mean no playing game. Come on, Coach of the Year.
Got to be. Yeah. Gotta be. Let me get you a caller. Call you live. What's poppin'?
Sam, what's going on?
I'm good, man. How you feeling?
It's Spree. I'm feeling great, man. This was a great win. When we look back at the end of the season, I know they're all important, but if the Knicks get in the playoffs, I'm going to remember this game where they're tired, lost against 2 really good teams, and would have been very easy to just give in and say, you know what, we had a good first half, but nope. That's what you get with Mr. Tibbs, man. You get character. Like you said, Sim, at the end of the game, all those dudes, they're excited. You know why? Because this is a team. This is a team that plays defense, that like each other. I want to just talk with you, Sim, about the timeouts at the end of the game.
Okay. Let's get it.
Just really quick, because I think it's very important. So he calls a timeout, Tibbs. You remember this. We were down 5.
Mm-hmm.
Bullock hits a 3.
Yep.
Frank hits a 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know, most people say we got the game in our favor right now, but Tibbs, after Fournier misses a 3, he calls timeout, says, let me settle him down because we don't have this game. I trust you, but I want to get a good shot out of a timeout. So he calls a timeout. We're up 1. Julius Randle, he gets him isolated on the wing for a nice little baby step-back jumper out of a timeout. Again, later in the game, Gordon misses a free throw and called for a loose ball foul. Tibbs, again, what does he do? He calls a timeout, and that was the play, Sim, with Burks, where it was supposed to go to Randle, but Burks made a great read and said, you know what, I got a lane. And he gets the and 1, and he missed the free throw. But again, It's the little things. We have a good timeout. Well, yep. I mean, I'm sorry. We have a good coach, Sam.
Yeah.
We have a good coach that knows what he's doing at the end of this game. At the end of the day, he can't make the plays for him. But I was so happy for the man. And Tibbs even showed emotion after the Burks play.
Yeah.
You saw he was pumping himself up. And that's what you love to see, man. If we're going to win a championship, I want to win it with this guy. I really do. Because he understands me as a person. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I feel you, man. And the one timeout that he called after the Knicks took the lead, Frank hit that 3, right? And he called a timeout. He called a timeout to say, I want to get a good shot. But also, he recognized that they had 3 timeouts left. And if they didn't call that timeout, they were going to lose one of the timeouts.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because they're going into the last 2 minutes of the game. You can only take 2 timeouts into the last 2 minutes of the game. So he calls timeout. So he says, you know what? I might as well use it now so that way I can, I can settle my team down, make sure we come out and get a good play, get a good shot off. Right? Mm-hmm. And then go into the last 2 minutes instead of just losing the timeout. So, yeah, that's good coaching all the way around.
I just want to say this, man. Obviously, Julius Randle's having an unbelievable year. But we're doing this because we're making the right reads. We're incredibly well coached. We're a good defensive team. But let's be real here. We don't have a ton of talent. But we got heart.
Not this conversation again.
Right. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, Spree.
I'm just saying, man, we got heart. Look, I mean, the fact that we're doing this, and yes, Bullock's playing well. I respect him. I respect these dudes because they're giving everything they have. But when you look at the talent on this roster compared to most of the teams in this league, we're just doing it, man, because we're well coached, and Julius Randle is making everyone better. Okay, and all I got to say is we need one superstar to come here to play with Julius. Then it's going to get really, really entertaining. And Sim, we're going to be on the float together, you and me.
Okay.
Hey,
all right. I'm with you. Let's get it.
Hey, Sprewell, what do you think of RJ's play?
I think he's growing. You know what I see? I see a guy that's looking at film. I see a guy that says, you know what, Sprewell criticized him early in the year, and he didn't know what he was talking about. He was just overreacting because he's a young player. But I got to give him credit. He's worked on his jumper. He's definitely put in the work. He's a strong kid. He can bounce back. He's showing me that he's mentally tough. And that's one of the things that you have to do to play in New York City. So I'm sticking with him. I learned my lesson. Look, he's going to have bad games. And you can't overreact. You got to stick with the process. I just need RJ to understand when he takes the right shots, it gets me excited.
Yeah.
But I want him to continue to have success, because if he has success, we're going to be in a great spot. We can't give up on these young kids. But we also got to understand the big picture. It's about the team. The only person I've ever fell in love with on the Knicks is Latrell Sprewell.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, it's a team sport.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, I appreciate the call, man.
All right, man.
Appreciate the call. Yeah, and look, Frank, RJ Barrett tonight had 17 points and 9 rebounds, and there was a point of the game where early in the game where he was the only one that could get a bucket.
Right.
He was carrying the team. He was keeping us in it. You know what I mean? He was getting buckets here, getting buckets there. You can give this win. The entire team earned the win. But as much as you want to give it to, you can give it to Julius or Reggie Bullock on the last second block. You can give it to RJ Barrett with the way that he carried us at a point where we weren't scoring. We had struggling to score. Call you live. What's poppin'?
Yo, what up, y'all? Hey, salute to y'all. Salute to the chat. Salute to the panel.
Appreciate you.
I just got to say no problem. I just got to say one thing, man. Mm-hmm. The Knicks are one piece away. Just like that, the previous caller said, man, they get one stud over there, man, to hoop and to play alongside Julius Randle and RJ, who is a stud in the making. Mm-hmm. RJ is a stud, man, and Randall is a stud. So all the people that's calling in and trying to say, hey, man, we need to, tank for Cade and all that, that's nonsense. Because if you do that, you're destroying the culture. So you want culture or you want Cade? Because if Cade come here without no culture, that ain't going to be nothing either. So
there you go.
That's all I have to say. But salute to the chat. Salute to y'all, man, again, and have a good night, y'all.
Appreciate you.
Hey, Sim, Evergreen looks like he needs you to unmute him.
Is he here?
Is he here, right?
Yeah, I don't see Evergreen.
Kareem. Evergreen's here, but Kareem asked that.
Yeah.
Oh, Kareem asked. I'm sorry. See, I'm 50. I don't got my glasses.
No, it's not 50.
Don't blame it on 50.
Yeah, exactly. Tell him, Steph. It's those Frank Ntilikina. Frank Ntilikina got them all over the place right now.
Just combobulated.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Go ahead, Kareem.
No, I just made a mistake and muted myself. I couldn't unmute myself.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, I just wanted to make one comment on Frank too, right? It was a play a few games ago, right? And I've seen him do it time and time again, man. On the pick and roll defense, he defends the pick setter and the roller at the same time. He'll get in between it. Let's say the person hands the ball off and sets a pick. Mm-hmm. He's guarding the person, denying the person a shot on a give and go, and playing the ball on the person, playing the ball at the same time. Amazing.
Yeah.
No, it's just like he does it. Said. Yeah. It's just like what Julito said about, what is your skill? What is it that you do? What did you say, Julito? What did you say?
I don't remember, but it was something. It was something a lot. You gotta just have at least one skill that sets you apart.
Right.
That's what I believe.
Right. Like what we were saying about Obi. You were asking about Obi. What is it that he does?
Oh, what is he? Oh, You want me to answer that? Or you want me to ask?
No.
I don't think he does
But I was saying, like with Frank and everything, that he that's
I was asking, what does Obi do? Like, does he do anything for us? Frank, at least, he got some long arms, and he's going to be out there defending his ass. He's going to jump on the floor for a loose ball. He is going to, you could put him on one of the best defenders, and even if he can't stop him, he's just going to make him work a little hard. You saw against Aaron Gordon, Frank put the clamps on him.
Yeah,
he put the
Aaron
clamps on him.
6'7" and he's 6'4".
Come on, man. He put the clamps on him. So I think you just got to have one tangible skill that makes sense on why we give you more than 10 minutes or why we even take you off the bench. And I think Tibbs has been seeing that with Frank, and he needs to see it with someone else.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Let me ask you. I'm gonna come to Steph, and then I'm gonna come to Tony. Do you think? I mean, we know about Reggie Bullock. And how Tom Thibodeau feels about Reggie Bullock and what he does defensively. I think we could see it tonight. From the starting unit and the change that he decided to make. Do you think Tibbs is starting to feel that same way about Frank?
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is Tibbs. I'm gonna give you a little time, and I want to see what you're doing with the time I give you in the first half. If you're doing all right, then you'll get more of it in the second half, and if you're not, you won't. So I think Frank was playing okay in the first half. He hit some shots, and I think Tibbs felt comfortable going with him in the second half and giving him more time. Now, does he feel comfortable overall in terms of starting him? Yeah, I think he might get the start next game. But then again, this is how it is with Tibbs. You get that start, you better do well, because if not, you're not going to be back in the second half. That's just how he is. But I do think overall he's becoming more confident in Frank.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Tony.
I think he does have faith in Frank. I think him starting Burks might have been the reason. That might have been directly reflected of Frank's defense. Maybe thinking Frank could cover up. Frank could play Bullock's role in the starting lineup,
right?
And then obviously Burks would pick up the offensive end, and if Frank comes through, it's a bonus as well on the offensive end. So I think that's directly reflect Frank allowing Burks to come in that starting lineup and try that out.
But honestly, I didn't mean to cut you off, Tone. But honestly, I think Tibbs probably should have started off with Frank and Bullock, because you got two defensive guys who can hit the three and everything. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, is Burks that more versatile than Bullock?
Offensively,
he's definitely more versatile than Bullock. Yeah,
offensively. And then Sim, I just wanted to first off, shout out to Spree and Z. If you guys don't know about their channel, check that out. Yes. But I wanted to combat something that Spree said about that last timeout. I actually thought that wasn't the wisest of timeouts. With the ball with a 1-point lead, I would have let them bring the ball up. Obviously, if they get into some trouble, you still have that timeout, which when he called the timeout, we got into some trouble. and
when you have a timeout left.
Exactly. It ended up being a jump ball. Thank God, we still won that game, but we lost the jump ball. So that's one reason why I sent it in the group chat. Like, why do you use that timeout? You know what I mean? Like, we had the momentum at that point, and then you save that timeout in case you have trouble bringing the ball up, trouble down the stretch in that last play. But I just wanted to mention that.
And one of the things with Steve Clifford, you could see that him and Tom Thibodeau, from the same coaching tree, and you see it down the stretch. It wasn't like, hey, we're just gonna foul. We're gonna try to tie these guys up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We don't, it's like, listen, we don't have to sell out, we'll try to time up. If we get a foul, send them to the line. All right, then we're still going to get the ball back and have a chance to, at least tie the game, do whatever. But, let's try to tie them up. We'll send a bunch of guys at them and try to tie them up. And it worked. And it worked. Go ahead, Isaiah.
He also called that same timeout after Tibbs did with 3:08 left, rather than losing it.
Right.
Clifford did.
Right. Go ahead, Isaiah.
Sam, I want to be very clear before I say this. I am done with Frank Ntilikina.
You kind of late to the party, bro. You kind of late to the party. It don't have the same weight. You kind of late to the party, man. We've been through that already.
No. Because Kev, no. Kev deserves a rewind because all the other night, Sim, I don't care what he does. I'm done. No, Sim, listen to me. I'm done with
Isaiah. I hate you. I hate you, Isaiah.
Sim said it. You won't believe him. Sim said, watch the next game when Frank come out and score the point. Then we're gonna be forgetting Frank Ntilikina. Now look at you. Score 13 points, and now look at you. Oh, we lost Frank Ntilikina. Nah.
If you were listening, I
wasn't listening. I was on Gilmore's show. I wasn't listening.
I said that Jay Boogie and Ron Cleveland talked some sense into me, so I retracted that. And that was yesterday. And I said that today on Freezy's thing, and I said it today on the pregame as well. So
you had no choice. We had no point goal. You had no choice. You either had to like Frank or you had to like him.
Alina, you see how they treat me, man.
I see it, man. Kev, you keep running back to me, man, and you I can't help you, brother. You set yourself up for this one. I ain't gonna front. I was watching this. I was driving. I said, not Kev. Not Kev giving up on Frank. And you were dead serious. And Tim started laughing, and you was like, no, I'm serious.
Right.
Now look at him back. Nope.
Shout out to Viv. Thank you for the super chat. He said, shout out to the chat. 30-piece for Randall. Randall is what Don Nelson envisioned Anthony Mason would be back in 95, 96. He says, an ugly win, but a W is a W. He said, Obi has to revisit his priorities, and probably Kevin Knox too at this point. They've got to revisit revisit their priorities. I agree with you, but more than that, Tom Thibodeau's got to look at what he's going to do for that backup 4 position to try to give Julius Randle more of a rest. You know what I'm saying? Or he's going to burn out coming down the stretch of the game. And if we want to make the playoffs, we're going to need Julius Randle to be at his best. Obviously, when we get some reinforcements out there, things are going to switch up a little bit. You might be able to play some different lineups that allow Julius Randle to rest a little bit, because you got more guard play, stronger guard play, other people that can score the basketball and do some things. So hopefully soon we get some reinforcements. I want to talk about Derrick Rose, though. Derrick Rose was at the game. He still has some more of COVID-19 protocol to go through. Clearly, he doesn't have it, at least at this point, right? Because he was at the game
and warming up,
and he warmed up a little bit and shot around, right? So he likely does not have COVID-19. Do you think we see him at next game? I'll start with Guillermo. You think we see Derrick Rose in Philadelphia or at home versus Philadelphia on Sunday? We got a couple of days from now and then till then. So if he has other, maybe I think they've got to have 3 negative tests, right? So maybe he's still in that process of getting those tests, and he doesn't have 3 negative tests before he can play. Maybe between now and Sunday, today's Thursday, you got Friday and Saturday. So maybe if he tests tomorrow and he tests Saturday, maybe he'll be able to come back on Sunday. who knows? I don't know. Gamma, what do you think?
And suits everybody in the chat, man. God bless. I really have no idea with any of these so-called protocols. I'm really confused again. And he's also, he lost a family member recently too. So I don't know his mental state. I mean, he looked in good spirits today. So maybe, but again, I don't know what the hell's going on with this protocol stuff. So hopefully he can come back. We need the help. And just even to the Frank thing, Frank, again, if you saw tonight, he just plays, he's not a guard. He's not a point guard, excuse me. He's he's just a guard. He plays way better off the ball. So just having a guy like Rose to, even if it's, say, Rose starting, you bring him in and maybe the rotations kind of intertwine or whatever, that's just going to help out Frank. But again, Sim, I have no idea what's going on with these protocols, bro. I don't know.
I mean, I think part of it is that, he had, maybe the test was inconclusive, or maybe it was conclusive and he had it, because part of the NBA's, part of their rules is that they're not going to let people know if a player is positive, or, they're not going to let you know because that's their personal health information. So then they're not going to let you know. Maybe it's possible that
So if you have a negative test, you still have to sit out? That doesn't make, because
Frank had to sit out too. Frank had to sit out as well.
Gotta have 3 negatives in a row.
3 negatives.
Right. So if you have, so they don't want to release it. If you have 3 negatives in a row, you get to play. But if you don't have 3 negatives in a row, then you don't play. So then people assume you have it.
I mean, I guess basically they're just letting people assume whatever they want to assume. But if he also had a funeral in there somewhere,
his protocol reset.
Right? So the protocol probably reset or whatever. You understand? So who knows how all of that works out? And of course they're not giving us anything clear because they don't want to say if he had it. So if he had it, they're not going to let us know if he had it or not. I'm just hoping that he can come back on Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, I heard that they're lessening the protocols. I think in the next upcoming weeks that
if you took the vaccine.
Yeah.
The vaccine. Over 80% of the people in the league have gotten the vaccine now.
Oh wow.
Wow.
They said like 84 to 87% of the people been vaccinated.
Okay. So we'll see. Hopefully he's able to come back, because when you look at that game versus Philadelphia, man,
we could have used him.
We definitely could have used him down the stretch of that game, because we sorely needed point guard help. Luckily tonight, this isn't the same type of, Orlando's not the same type of team, although it was a tough game tonight. And it came down the stretch. Not the same type of team as Philadelphia. And of course the Knicks, it just played a different game, throughout the game, and they had a little bit more practice time, I guess. We're having Burks at that, run that point guard spot. Not that he did anything magnificent, but he was strong enough to help get some, make some plays and get some plays done. You still didn't have someone who was out there controlling the floor, controlling the game, and setting this up and setting that up and saying, okay, this is what we're going to do now. And you still miss that, so hopefully he can come back versus Philadelphia, because, that's going to be another battle. It's going to be another one of those games that go all the way down to the end, I think. And, we're going to need as much as possible to pull that game out. Yeah, go ahead, Gav.
Yeah, you know who Orlando was missing that probably would have done us in? It was missing our boy.
Terrence Ross.
Yeah, I mean, they was missing them. I mean, hey, I don't care who they missing, man. We got to go out. We got to win. Shoot, we struggled to get this win just the way it is. So
sure did.
No, but I'm just saying, I think it would have been more difficult if he was.
I'm sure it would have. I'm sure it would have.
You know what's we gotta stop doing too, Sam? We gotta stop. 2 things. It's good. These next weekends are gonna be important because we're facing 2 big, strong attacking point guards in Ben Simmons and Russell Westbrook. So we're gonna definitely those guys. And we need to please stop every time we face the Magic, we all swear we gonna blow these jokers out. And these dudes, these games.
I don't know who you was listening to. I think everybody thought we was gonna go through a tight game, man. But it's just like that with these guys. Let me get to this phone call. Caller, you live. What's popping?
Tim, what's good?
I'm good, man. How you feeling?
I'm good. What's going on, panel?
Hey, can you turn that down in the back? I think maybe, I can hear something in the back. I can hear a little bit of an echo.
Yeah. It's down. Yeah, with the whole COVID thing, Tim, like how these players are out for a whole week at a time or 2 weeks. What's the NBA going to do? I'm going to ask this question and then I'm going to get off and listen to you. What's the NBA going to do when the lights off, like LeBron or Giannis deep in the playoffs test positive or inconclusive for COVID? What are they going to do then?
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
going to be crazy.
Yeah, that will be crazy. Look, you would think at that point players got to be smart enough to say, I ain't going anywhere. I'm in the playoffs. I'm just chilling in my hotel room. That's it. Right?
You would think so.
But of course,
what about these inconclusive tests and stuff like that?
Yeah, no. I don't know.
They can get it from their barber.
They can get it from them, but they just gonna have to come to the game nappy. They just got to be nappy all throughout June. I mean, that's it. They just got to be nappy. Forget
no
it.
Shave June. No shave.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a good question. You know what I'm saying? When you get into the playoffs, and if somebody, comes up positive, I don't know. Do they postpone? If it's one person, they can't do it over one person. If it's an entire team, who knows what they do? But
because it wouldn't be fair to the teams that have been going through it all year.
Right, exactly.
So
it wouldn't be fair to the team.
Those players.
Yeah. So
that'd be crazy.
It's gonna be it'll be interesting. I don't know when they were in the playoffs in the bubble. I don't remember. I don't think anybody came up positive while they were in the bubble in the playoffs.
They would have to have a bubble for the playoffs then.
Yeah. I guess we'll see what happens. You got the vaccine and everything. Maybe by then, some things will be a little bit different. It's a good question, man. We'll see.
Tim. Thanks for taking the call.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's a good question. I guess maybe by then, people will be vaccinated. They won't have to worry about it as much once we get to that point. So what we think about this Philadelphia game, Tony? I'm gonna start with you. Now come around the block. What do you think about this Philly game?
I think if we play like we played last game and we get any type of reinforcements, I think we could win. Man, I felt like we should have won the last one. I hope we win this one, man. I'm looking forward to a battle though. This should be another chance for us to get a revenge game, So
right.
Let's see what we could do. Real quick, because I'm gonna head out. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the panel. Peace Queen. Shout out to Viv. Long time, man. You got to come back on. And shout out to the Prince Bum, man. We miss you. Sim, keep doing your thing.
Appreciate it, man.
Back it's time.
Yeah, get some rest. I know you got a busy day tomorrow, man.
I do,
man.
You
got a busy day. Make sure you get some rest.
Salute.
Right, Tom.
Yeah.
See you later, Tom.
Steph,
in bed already.
What do you think about the game tomorrow, and what are we gonna do? Because last game, I said it before the game, if Tobias Harris drops 30, I think we're gonna lose. I think the same thing this game. If he drops 30 on us, I don't think we win the game. If we can stop Tobias Harris from doing what he did, I think we have a better chance. What can we do with Tobias Harris?
Who you asking, Steph?
Yeah.
Steph, I'm sorry. Thought I said Steph, but my bad.
Yeah. I mean, who played him the last time? Was it Randall? It was him and Randall? I think we got to find somebody else to put on him.
I think Bullock was guarding him. Bullock was guarding him. And he was just too big for Bullock.
He was too big for Bullock. But this is the thing. If you put Randall on him, Randall can match him in terms of strength. but Randall is already putting out so much on the offensive end.
Right.
Do you want him guarding him? So that's a tough one. Maybe you put RJ Barrett on him. What, he's like 6'7"?
He's like 6'8".
Both of them are about, he's 6'8"?
Yeah, he's like 6'8". Tobias Harris is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you want to come right out with the double team. Like that puts pressure on the defense as well. I think you want to just see how it goes. Maybe it'll be a different game for him. I know the game they play afterwards, he wasn't that efficient, though he killed us. He wasn't that efficient in the game afterwards.
Right.
So I would just continue the way it is. If he does get hot, I think we're going to have to either put RJ on him, or we may have to double team. The only thing about double teaming is they have shooters.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You know, they have shooters, and I believe Randall would take the challenge. Yeah, but he looked so gassed tonight. You know, he just looked like he's doing a lot. Yeah. So I say all of that to say, I don't know, Sam. I think there's positives and negatives any way we go.
Right. And I hate the double team with this team. Like, you seen, especially if you double team off the wrong guy. Julius Randle went to double team off of Seth Curry, and I was like, why are you double teaming off of Seth Curry?
Why are you doing that?
Like, come on, you got to think about who's there. And Seth Curry knocks down a three. You know, they got too many guys that can knock it down to double team that way. But if we give them 30, you know, I don't know. You know what? Tom Thibodeau and those guys, they've been good at developing, defensive schemes, especially when we play the team, the second time around. We'll see what they come up with. Kev, what do you think about this game versus Philly?
Oh, we have to win this one just for the psyche to show that they can be beat. I mean, I know they're going to be missing Embiid, but we have to win this game. And I think if Rose does play, I believe that's going to help us out a great deal. And the main thing I want us to focus in, I mean, I know we're going to focus, Simmons is going to get his, and probably Harris is probably going to get his as well. I want Randall to take the challenge, but we got to make sure that Seth, and I forget the other guy that Kareem was.
Danny Green.
I forgot about Danny Green. Danny Green. Yeah. But the other guy that's coming off the bench with the
Shake Milton.
Shake Milton.
Not Shake Milton.
Matisse Thybulle.
No, he's talking about that foreign guy.
Korkmaz.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
we got to look out for them too. Yeah, this team. I know Nate. On the previous.
You gotta let somebody beat you.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. We just have to match their intensity, and I think if it comes back down to them leading by 2 or 3, or if it's a close game, I feel more confident if Rose is playing. So we just gotta take it to a level. And also, I'm not gonna lie, Dwight Howard's a thug, man. I'm sorry, the way he fell on Randall like that, man. He's just looking to put people out. He did the same thing years ago when he was at the Lakers, and he put out Melo for an extended portion of games and everything. He's just a thug. I'm sorry.
I had a joke to say, but I'm not gonna say it.
Julito?
Yeah, man. This is a win that I think will really help the locker room. I think tonight, as y'all can see with the celebration after the stop, these are the little moments that help us when we get to the playoffs, and we know we can win with defense. We know we can beat teams like the number 1 seeded 76ers. It also helps the psyche because since Ben Simmons has been in the league, we've not beat him. And
exactly.
We need to just know that we could beat Ben Simmons, because eventually, once we get the pieces we need, we're going to see the 76ers in the playoffs, and that's a team we're going to have to beat. So this is a win that we need. I think, I was listening to y'all pregame for the 76ers game and pre-show for the 76ers game, and I was like, nobody's talking about Dwight. Dwight always kills us. for some reason, Dwight goes to work on us. And Tobias, I knew he was going to do work as well because he's a Long Island kid. He wants to, and now he's in the Garden. You know, he probably got 20 friends and family members going to be in the building for him. They probably ain't get to see him play in like 2 years. So he's going to have some of his people in the Garden. But still, we the Knicks, we come into play. We're not losing at the Garden, man. You're going to have to do a lot to beat us in the Garden, regardless of what team you are. So I just think that we need Derrick Rose back. Sam, we need Derrick Rose back. He helps the offense. He keeps us on a faster pace. Mm-hmm. Also, his scoring, his playmaking at the end of games, we haven't been able to finish a game. And by the grace of God, Reggie Bullock, he knew, like, if he missed that jump ball, and then he let Fournier score him.
Oh, man.
Ooh, the Knicks Twitter wouldn't have been polite to him, man.
Ain't no doubt about that.
You know, so we needed this win, and we got it, and we need this Sunday's win, man. And it's at 8 o'clock. It's not we're gonna have some good amount of time to prepare for it. So I think we're gonna get it, man. I think it's gonna be another tough fight, but we're gonna get it. But y'all, I'm about to head out. Sim, right. Always a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you, man.
Salute to the chat. Salute to the panel. I see y'all Sunday. I'll be back on Sunday at the post show.
Cool.
All right. Okay. Appreciate you.
Hey, Sim, if all else fails, they could put me in. I mean, we might get down 20, but, we could probably pull that out,
Listen, even with Tobias 30, they still scored less than 100 points. So we got to play the same defense. We have to score.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're a good defensive team, so they make it difficult for us to do that. But it was still under 100.
Right. And that's that scoring part, of course, that's going to be the difficult part. What we scored 94 points tonight. Obviously, we got pieces out, but we scored 94 points. Efficient shooting, but we still only scored 94 points. I do think it would be, we get a win. It'd be a really good win for them. Good for the psyche. Although, even though they won't have Joel Embiid there, if the Knicks are still battered and bruised the way that they are, and they're able to pull out a win, it gives them something to think about as far as where they can be. Hopefully, Emmanuel Quickley will be back. Right, Emmanuel Quickley. It seemed like tonight was more or less precautionary, with his sore ankle. So hopefully he'll be back and be able to give us some reinforcements on Sunday. He's got a couple of days to let that ankle rest. Guillermo, what do you think about Sunday's game?
It'll be tough, man. I agree with especially on the Dwight Howard part. I thought he's an underrated factor for that team. The way he clears out. Again, you have the prospect of him just lurking down low on any pick and rolls or any just basically drives to the basket. And if Ben Simmons beats his man, even Tobias Harris, they just many times they hand it off. The way he clears out. I mean, how many fouls did collectively RJ, Bullock, Nerzel, these guys just pick up when Dwight Howard's there. Then on the flip side, I mean, the guy helped side defense. He had the block on Randall. RJ tried to take him on. He's just a terror. Down low. And then I forgot what exactly we shot last game with Bullocks and Burks. But those guys aren't hot from outside. Many times you have our ball handlers trying to force, shots against a Dwight Howard. Now you did have last game, I think Quickly was, he had a few floaters where he kind of threw it up high. I can't remember if it was Quickly. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Quickly. But again, a guy like Dwight Howard, he's just an issue. They have a closing Tobias Harris. And real quick, just on, for other people, now granted, I have my qualms on Mitch, but Mitch has definitely been helpful in certain regards. Now, if you look at the putback points, like the measure of our putbacks is definitely gone down since Mitch has been out. Now we rank like in the top 10. No, we rank right outside the top 10 regarding points per miss, putback points per miss. Putback plays per miss. We're 12th. I believe when Mitch was playing, we were like all in top 10. And then putback points per 100 plays right now, we're 16th. And I think all three of those, back when Mitch was playing, we were in like the top 10. I think one of them was like we're number one. I think putback points per play, so per 100 plays. So one guy I would love to have Mitch back. I know it's not going to happen just because he's not going to contact, but Lord Jesus, we might suffer against the Sixers, especially because Noswell and Taj Gibson have been doing a decent job. But look, tonight we what was it? Noswell had how many points? Like 0 points or something like that, and how many rebounds? Like those guys are just they're not Mitch. And I know people have the issues with Mitch. Mitch is one of the better offensive rebounds, but for a team that we don't average a lot of field goal attempts, field goals period, or we don't make up a lot of them, we try to take these we get the right shot at the right time type, and we take off time on the clock. Your best gift is having the guy who gets you the ball right back. So against the Sixers team, and they don't even shoot a lot of threes, but they're just an overall solid team inside and out. So yeah, the best bet would be try to if Frank again could come alive. I know that's Kevin's boy. If he could come alive, if he's playing in the starting unit, if Rose doesn't play, I would love to have RJ Barrett again, try to play him like they did tonight, RJ Butler, use that pick and roll, Randall curl around and kick it out to Frank on the outside. If you can hit those shots, that'll be big. Same with Burks and Bullock. I think that might be the only way to kind of kill them. Then when they take out a guy like Dwight, attack them, tell Julius to destroy Tobias Harris. He had Tobias Harris dead to right almost every play, except for obviously plays with Dwight Howard helps. So that would be my game plan. Barraging with threes early on. Also, RJ, I would say, did an okay job on Ben Simmons. Okay, it was not too bad. Ben Simmons didn't look Ben Simmons-y, right? I think especially in the second half, it kind of slowed him down. Again, Ben Simmons off the ball, he's a terror. Make sure he's not getting a full head of steam. Transition defense has to be perfect. But yeah, if we don't have Derrick Rose, it is going to be an uphill battle. I'm not sure we win this game. We don't get some type of reinforcement at the guard position.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be tough, and we'll see if it's another defensive battle like it was the previous game. Before I get to the other guys, Tom Thibodeau, I'd like to hear a little bit from Tom Thibodeau about tonight's game, and then we'll finish up talking about Orlando. This is Tom Thibodeau.
Last possession, you guys had to get that stop there. Walk us through, what you said to the guys in that timeout and what you saw from Reggie.
Well, his activity in tracing the ball was, obviously big. And that team is a really well-coached team and a great execution team. So you got to be tied together, otherwise they're going to make you pay. And this was their first game with having a majority of their guys back. They still had Ross out, but then they put an enormous pressure on you. Fournier and Vucevic in a pick and roll. Gordon gets going downhill. And they play hard as heck on every possession. So. It's good to scratch out a win.
Mike Porcano?
This is Mark Berman. I was told to unmute, but...
Go ahead, Mark.
Okay, just how did you like how you did your point guard rotation and see Frank score a lot of points?
Yeah, I really thought Frank played a very good game all around. And as I mentioned in the pregame, he's taking the right shots. And as long as he does that, we just believe in the process of him working on those shots. And when he's open, shoot him well. And some are going to go, some won't. That's part of the game. But just having the courage to continue to take them, you're wide open. And I thought Julius was fabulous, just making plays, to have 17 assists and, just finding a way to win. And then Alec being, playing the point, you can't speed him up. Great veteran experience. Reggie being selfless and just, coming off the bench and having a big game and coming up with the big stop at the end. We had a lot of guys step up and play well. I thought Obi and Kevin Knox gave us really good minutes in the second quarter. So and we needed everyone, and it was a good win.
Mike Porcano?
To win the game with a defensive stop there, does that warm your heart a little bit?
Look, I don't care how we do it. I just want to win. But I thought, just find a way to win. And if it calls for making 5 stops in a row, that's what you have to do. If it calls for scoring 5 times in a row, that's what you have to do. So I want us to be great on both sides of the ball. And, we have to continue to work and concentrate on improvement. But that was a heck of a play by Reggie and Taj as well. And that's what you have to do. You have to swarm, you have to fly around, and you have to make plays.
Dennis Gorman.
Tom, does your group's defense give it sort of a different identity than anyone else in the league? It seems like this is a league where everyone's looking to score a lot of points.
Well, for us, I think that is one of our strengths. We have 2 elite rim protectors in Mitch and Nerlens, and then when you throw Taj into the mix, Taj has great feet. He's one of the best pick and roll defenders in the league. And he's a great low post defender. So you have that added dimension to the defense. And then we have good length, and we have guys that can get into the ball. So I think that is one of our strengths, and the versatility and the size that allows us to do the switching. And we know if we defend and we rebound, and if we keep our turnovers down, we'll be in position to win against anybody. And that's what we're trying to hang our hat on. And I think our guys have really worked hard at the shooting piece of it. And, we're starting to knock down threes on a regular basis. And I think we're making the right plays, the right rim reads. When there's a collapse, spray it out, make the extra pass. There's a lot of drive, pass possessions. And that also allows us to get our defense set.
Mike Mancuso.
Coach, can you talk about the energy level of your team, especially in the second half? And when you consider the tough games this week with the Nets and the Sixers, to have that kind of energy, what does that say about you guys? Yeah,
it's all about the fight, and that's a big part of this league. And so sometimes, we came out of the break, and you're hit with a lot of road games and a minimal amount of practice time because of the protocols. And so you just got to find a way to get it done, and then you're shorthanded, so your margin of error is very small. But that's what I love about these guys. They're great workers. They're developing great habits, whether it's a walk through in a ballroom. When we do have our practices, they're terrific. A lot of guys are coming back at night to get extra shooting in. And so we're starting to see the results of all the preparation and extra work that people are putting in.
Bondi.
Hey, Tom, 17 assists for Julius, on a night when you're shorthanded in your backcourt. How important is it to have a facilitator like him with the ball?
Well, it's huge, and that's what we talked about, at the beginning when I mentioned to you guys about his leadership. It was a night in which he didn't shoot the ball great, but he played great. And so he did different things for us. The 17 assists, it's says it all right there. So he made everyone around him better, and we had to find a way to win. And that was it was a great play that Alec made at the end, but a lot of that was due to the attention that Julius was getting. But I love that he didn't force things. When that second defender came, he just made the right play. And that's how you win. Those are winning plays.
And the Knicks had only 7 turnovers in this game. Julius Randle, 17 assists.
Oh,
and as a total, the Knicks had 24 assists tonight and only 7 turnovers. So, you're going to win. You'll win some games when you have those kind of numbers. Let me quickly, just real quick, guys, let me get to Kareem, then Isaiah, then Evergreen, and then we'll go ahead and head up out of here for the night. Kareem, just your quick thoughts on Philadelphia's game.
Like I said about this game, the defense has to be there from the start. I do believe that we are going to play defense against them just as intense as we did in the previous matchup against them. I would say that I would use Frank to throw at their star players to try to throw them off, offensively. And hopefully we get the win. Hopefully we get some people back too, some point guards, because we're definitely going to need it. Playmaking.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Dan Alcanet. He said, imagine if we get Mitch Quick and Rose back on Sunday.
Yes.
It'd be nice to get some reinforcements back. It'd be nice. Isaiah?
Yeah, so about the 76ers, man, it's going to be tough. Like, we are 0-14 against Ben Simmons. It's very frustrating. I have a cousin that's a Sixers fan, and he kills me every time about it, and he always reminds me about it. So we really have to buckle down, man. And I agree with what Guillermo said earlier, man. Dwight Howard to me might be the X factor because when he was on the floor, he was very. Kev said he was Orlando. He wasn't Orlando Dwight, but he was probably Lakers Dwight. He was or Houston Dwight because he was dominating us. He was playing bully ball. I mean, honestly, I was watching the game. He just looked stronger and just quicker. And then Taz Gibson just really couldn't handle him, man. And nor could Nolan Wells. So we have to take advantage when he's not on the court because I just feel like he's going to dominate us again because we're just paper thin at center. We need a point guard on Sunday. I'm going to be honest. We will lose if we don't have at least D Rose or quickly, man. We're going to lose because it's just point guard play is so important. I don't think Burks, this was a game where Burks could do it because Orlando's just not that good right now. I mean, against us, they're good, but it just, in general, overall, they're not good. So you can get away with Burks playing point guard. You can't get away with that with the Sixers. So we have to buckle down, man. We got to play defense. We got to try to contain Dwight Howard. And again, right, I'm going to still go to the philosophy. We have to sag off Ben Simmons, and we got to make sure that these shooters are not getting loose. We let Seth Curry shoot open shots. We let, what's his name? We let Danny Green get open shots. To me, sag off Ben, turn Ben into the scorer, let Ben score. I'm comfortable Ben Simmons being the scorer. I'm not comfortable Ben Simmons being the point guard. I'd rather him be the scorer. Make sure that Danny Green and Seth Curry are covered. And if I'm Tom Thibodeau, I'm gonna put Frank on Tobias Harris and tell Reggie, please, for God's sakes, stick with Seth Curry. That's me personally. Frank has the length. Frank has the strength to hold up with Tobias. I would stick Frank on Tobias Harris and tell him to guard him. If
we have those other guys back, I don't think Frank starts. So,
well, Frank, yeah. So it'd be Reggie Bullock, which would be kind of tough because
I honestly, I think that Frank. Let's put it like this: I think that Frank, if Tobias Harris is out on the perimeter, Frank can maybe give him some trouble with his long arms. If he takes him down in the post, I don't think Frank is going to stand a chance.
So,
Evergreen.
All right. So I made the argument earlier on in the season when we played Philadelphia game 1 that arguably Ben Simmons and a healthy Ben Simmons and Matisse Thybulle starting at the 1 and 2 might be the best defensive backcourt in the league. All right. And I still believe that to this day. Obviously Ben Simmons is a problem, but I agree as far as, making Ben Simmons the scorer as opposed to him being the point guard, just because him, running the point and moving around is just, the guy is just so elusive and so strong at what he can do. I disagree with Frank getting on Tobias Harris. I think that's a big mistake. I think Frank's defense almost mirrors what Reggie Bullock's defense can do. And Tobias Harris is a smart player. Like he's not, when he sees somebody that weighs 30 less pounds than him, he's going to clear it out and do the same thing he was doing with Reggie Bullock. I see that happening again. I'm taking Julius Randle and I'm sticking Julius Randle and letting them two battle it out. And I'm allowing the help defense to help out on Dwight Howard, just because we know he's not really a too good of a passer. So that's what I'm doing. I'm having Julius Randle play one-on-one with Tobias Harris, and obviously Dwight Howard is the help man. But we seem to be we seem to fall victim to the third pass. The third pass is where we get stuck out a lot, and that 3 ball lets it fly. So we really got to get out on those wings, and if anything, Seth Curry needs to get shut down by Frank. because Seth Curry is, while Dwight Howard is the X factor just for what he can do on the defensive end and grabbing, rebounds from everywhere. Those dagger jump shots is what Seth Curry brings to that team. And that's where I'm sticking Frank on. As soon as Seth checks into the game, all right, Frank, there you go at it. Matisse Thybulle's out and Seth Curry's in. Frank, I'm subbing you in as soon as the next dead ball comes, and I'm letting it rock like that. I personally think that we really could have won that Philadelphia game from the other day, and I think we might be able to pull this one at home. As soon as we got the report that Joel Embiid was out, I was under the impression that we can come back and we can go, we can beat them twice. But I want some get back this game. And once again, obviously, I didn't put a wager up on that Orlando game today, and we won. So I'm not saying nothing. Don't ask me for no prediction.
Right. All right. Well, hey, I hope we can go get that win. A lot of the same things that we've already said. I don't want to reiterate those things. Of course, we're going to do a game preview when that time is there. Getting some reinforcements back, I think are critical. But at least the Knicks do have a couple of days off. If they don't, to let Julius Randle get some rest, to get a practice in, with Alec Burks and Frank Ntilikina and those guys, and really try to, get some of those things down in the event that those guys don't come back. But having those days off gives us a better chance. I think quickly will be there no matter what, to be honest with you. So I think tonight was just precautionary. So anyway, out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate your time. Please be easy. Spread love as usual. And I will talk to you very soon, ladies and gentlemen. Out of here.